Have you ever noticed small changes in a loved one's health or behavior? At first, they may seem too insignificant to worry about. Maybe they're a bit more tired or they've started losing weight, but you tell yourself it's just aging. What if I told you that these small signs are messages from the body, signaling something deeper? Many of us assume that when death comes, it happens suddenly, but the truth is, our bodies often send quiet warnings well in advance, sometimes months or even a year before the end. Unfortunately, most people miss these signals, brushing them off as just part of getting older. In this video, we're going to explore 5 subtle but important signs that can appear before the end of life. Recognizing these signs early not only helps in providing better care, but also allows us to make the most of the time we have left with our loved ones. Sign 1. Unexplained weight loss. One of the earliest and most telling signs that someone is approaching the final stage of life is unexplained weight loss. This isn't the kind of weight loss that happens with dieting or exercise, but rather a gradual, unintentional loss of pounds that often goes unnoticed until it becomes significant. At first, it might be something subtle, a belt that needs tightening or a shirt that suddenly fits a little looser. Then there's the faded appetite. Perhaps your loved one no longer enjoys meals as they once did. This weight loss is not just cosmetic. It's a sign that the body is no longer absorbing nutrients properly. Muscle mass is shrinking, and the systems that keep the body running are slowing down. It's easy to dismiss this as just part of getting older, but it's important to pay attention. Weight loss at this stage often means the body is having difficulty processing food. This can be due to changes in metabolism, digestive issues, or even the body's way of telling you that it is conserving energy for what's essential. It also weakens the immune system, increases the risk of falls, and makes the person more vulnerable to infections. Underlying medical conditions like cancer, heart failure, kidney disease, or even depression can contribute to weight loss. Even though you might try to encourage your loved one to eat more or add extra protein drinks to their meals, if the weight continues to drop despite these efforts, it's important to understand that the issue goes beyond just diet. This is the body preparing for its final transition. In this stage, what matters most is not forcing large meals, but ensuring comfort. Easy-to-eat foods, soft textures, and plenty of hydration can help sustain them without causing distress. Recognizing weight loss as a sign of deeper changes can help you prepare emotionally, knowing that you may need to provide extra care and attention as their body begins to slow down. Sign 2. Extreme fatigue and weakness. Fatigue is another major signal that someone may be entering their final stage of life. But it's not just the kind of tiredness that comes after a long day of work. This fatigue is pervasive, deep, and unyielding. It's a weariness that doesn't go away after a good night's sleep or a nap in the afternoon. The fatigue can start small. Maybe they're slower to get out of bed or struggle to move from one room to another. But over time, it becomes more pronounced. Simple activities like cooking, getting dressed, or even having a conversation can leave them completely exhausted. It may seem like they're just being lazy or needing to push through it, but the truth is that their body is conserving its energy for more vital functions. The organs are beginning to slow down, and the body's ability to produce energy has been redirected. Muscle weakness accompanies this fatigue, which is why it becomes harder for them to stand or walk on their own. The fatigue also leads to emotional withdrawal. Many seniors who were once active, independent, and engaged in social activities may begin to isolate themselves, not out of desire but out of sheer exhaustion. They may stop engaging in their hobbies or pull away from conversations because they simply don't have the strength to continue. For families, watching a loved one go from vibrant to exhausted can be heartbreaking, but this sign is an important one. It's not a signal to push harder, but rather to allow them the rest they need. By understanding this fatigue, you can create an environment where they feel comfortable resting and can still share meaningful moments, even if they're no longer able to do what they used to. The last thing they need is to be pressured to perform. What they need most is love, patience, and understanding. Sign 3, increased confusion and withdrawal. As we age and the body gradually prepares for its final stages, many elderly individuals begin to show subtle but important mental and emotional changes. These changes are not always easy to detect at first, but as time passes, they become more pronounced. You may begin to notice a once sharp and engaged loved one starting to forget things they would have once remembered with ease. They may repeat themselves more often, struggle to keep up with conversations, or become disoriented in places that used to be familiar to them. These lapses in memory are not simply the result of normal aging. They are often signs that the brain is beginning to lose its ability to function as it once did. The mental clarity that was once so characteristic of your loved one may begin to fade slowly. They may find it difficult to recall names of people they've known for years, forget where they place their belongings, or even lose track of time altogether. What's even more heartbreaking is that the person may also start to lose their ability to engage emotionally in the same way. This mental decline can lead to emotional withdrawal. A person who once enjoyed lively conversations and spending time with family members might now avoid social situations, speak less, and seem emotionally distant. For families watching this change, it can feel especially painful. It's as though you're losing your loved one twice, once in the mind and once in the body. The cognitive decline can feel like a slow erosion of the person they once were, and the emotional distance can create a deep sense of sadness and helplessness. Watching someone who was once so engaged with life now retreat into their own world can be a heavy burden to bear. However, it's important to understand that these changes are not something your loved one can control. It is a natural part of the body's process, as the brain's ability to process information and emotions becomes impaired. Instead of trying to force them to snap out of it or bring them back into the fold of active conversations, it's important to meet them where they are. Offer comfort in ways that don't require verbal responses. Hold their hand, speak gently, and reassure them that you're there for them. Creating a safe and familiar environment can help ease their confusion and make them feel more comfortable. Even if they can't communicate in the same way, your presence, your patience, and your quiet love can still provide them with a sense of peace. Understanding that mental confusion and emotional withdrawal are often signs of the body and mind preparing for their final transition can help families cope. Instead of feeling frustrated or hurt by their withdrawal, use this time to offer quiet moments of connection. Let them know through touch and presence that they are loved and not alone. In these moments, love becomes a language that transcends words, offering them comfort that they may no longer be able to express themselves. Sign 4, frequent infections and slow healing. One of the most visible and concerning signs that an elderly person is nearing the final stage of life is a significant decline in the immune system's ability to fight off infections. As we age, the immune system naturally weakens, and it becomes much harder for the body to ward off diseases or recover from minor illnesses. While young and healthy bodies can usually fight off infections like colds, urinary tract infections, or skin wounds fairly quickly, elderly individuals experience a much slower response. What once would have been a small issue, like a mild cold or a tiny cut, can now lead to a prolonged illness or infection that takes much longer to heal. This gradual weakening of the immune system is a natural part of aging. As the body's organs and systems slow down, circulation becomes less efficient, and the body struggles to repair itself the way it once did. For elderly individuals nearing the end of their life, even small cuts or scrapes can lead to complications that would have been easily preventable when they were younger. Skin infections, pressure sores, or even the common cold can now require more attention and care as the body's ability to fight off these infections diminishes. Frequent infections often become a daily reality for many seniors, Pneumonia, urinary tract infections, UTIs, and skin infections are some of the most common illnesses that affect elderly individuals in their final stages. What might have been a minor illness in the past can now become a serious issue. Even antibiotics, which once worked effectively, may take longer to have an effect or may no longer be as potent. The body's weakened state means that even the most basic treatment can take longer to show results, and recovery time is significantly extended. For families, watching a loved one battle repeated infections can be frustrating, and it's easy to want to keep pushing for more treatments, hoping that one more round of antibiotics or another trip to the hospital will help them recover. However, this focus on curing the illness often overlooks the reality that the body is simply reaching a point where it can no longer heal itself as effectively as it used to. At a certain point, it becomes more important to shift the focus from curing to comforting. Ensuring your loved one stays hydrated, providing good skin care, and reducing physical and emotional stress on their body can often be far more effective in improving their quality of life than continued medical treatments. For those who are immobile, chronic wounds like bed sores can become a significant concern. Poor circulation means that oxygen and nutrients don't reach the skin as effectively, which slows healing. These sores can lead to dangerous infections if not carefully managed, which can further complicate an already delicate situation. Rather than focusing on aggressive treatments, the key during this stage is comfort. If your loved one is battling repeated infections, it might be time to rethink your approach to care. Offer easy-to-eat foods and fluids, ensure they're comfortable, and provide medications that can help ease their symptoms without trying to force the body to do more than it is capable of. Recognizing the signs of a weakened immune system and slow healing early on allows families to adjust their approach. By offering comfort and reducing stress on the body, you can provide your loved one with the peace and dignity they deserve in their final days. At this stage, it's not about fighting against the inevitable. It's about creating a space where they can feel safe, loved, and cared for, no matter how small or large the changes may be. Sign 5. Changes in breathing and circulation. One of the clearest signs that the body is preparing for its final stage is a change in breathing patterns and circulation. You may notice that your loved one begins to breathe more slowly, or their breathing may become irregular, with long pauses between breaths. Some people experience a specific pattern of breathing called Cheney-Stokes respiration, in where deep breaths alternate with long pauses. The circulation also slows down. You may notice that their hands, feet, or even their nose and ears feel cold to the touch. Their skin may appear pale or have a bluish tint, especially around the fingers and toes. This is because the body is prioritizing vital organs and slowing circulation to less essential parts of the body. Shortness of breath may also occur with the smallest of movements, like sitting up, talking, or changing positions. Fluid may build up in the lungs, making it harder to breathe, causing a constant cough or a feeling of tightness in the chest. For family members, this change in breathing and circulation can be one of the most alarming, but it's important to understand that this is simply the body slowing down in preparation. The focus should not be on fixing the problem, but on making them as comfortable as possible. Keeping the room cool, offering small sips of water, or even providing oxygen therapy can help ease the discomfort. As we come to the end of this video, I want to take a moment to reflect on the 5 signs we've discussed today. Unexplained weight loss, extreme fatigue, mental confusion, frequent infections, and changes in breathing and circulation. These signs are often subtle at first, but over time, they become more apparent. Recognizing them early allows us to provide better care, make important decisions, and ensure that our loved ones' final months are filled with love, dignity, and peace. It's never easy to watch someone you love go through these changes, but understanding what's happening can help you find the strength, patience, and wisdom to make the most of the time you have left together. If you found these insights helpful, I encourage you to like, subscribe, and share this video. Your support allows us to continue creating valuable content that helps people care for their loved ones with love and respect. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.